Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Friday, November 18th, 2022. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with comments from Tony Khan during yesterday's Full Gear media conference call. The AEW president and CEO addressed a wide range of topics, including a question from Nick Hausman of Wrestling Inc. about his much-debated handling of CM Punk's appearance at the All Out Media Scrum in September, when Punk launched into a profanity-laced diatribe against Colt Cabana and members of the AEW locker room, including Adam Page and Executive Vice Presidents Kenny Omega and Matt and Nick Jackson, with Khan seated right next to him.
I have any idea what Punk was going to say, and the question I get asked the most about it is, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you try to stop him at any point?
Well, you were sitting, I don't want to comment beyond this. You were sitting 5 feet away from me, and I did not know, I never know exactly. I mean, I know I did not know, but I will not comment beyond that.
Khan also addressed his company's focus on running venues in the Northeast in recent months and the strategy behind it.
We hit over $1 million in live ticket sales for the TV event, Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium, and we're closing in on over $1 million in sales here. And, frankly, there were major cost savings that people, might not think about in routing everything mostly in the Northeast. And that's why there's been so many shows in the Northeast recently, because we saved millions of dollars between Grand Slam and Full Gear, which were both big financial successes.
Also during the media call, Khan confirmed that the Owen Hart Foundation tournament would be returning in 2023 and specified his goal to establish dedicated TV for Ring of Honor, which would allow him to place less emphasis on ROH during AEW programming. He also revealed that he's considering officially stripping Thunder Rosa of the AEW Women's Championship.
Yes, it's something we have considered, and, it's something to consider. And I'm, still weighing the pros and cons. Thunder Rosa is a great wrestler, and it's unfortunate she's injured, and it's kept her out a long time. But it's not an easy situation, and, I try to take everything on a case-by-case basis, and trying to give Thunder Rosa every opportunity to come back and defend the championship. But if eventually, you would have to crown a lineal champion, to your point, and it's a great point.
In ratings news, AEW Dynamite Live on TBS Wednesday night drew its second lowest viewership of the year, averaging 818,000 viewers, down 13.69% from last week's episode, according to Showbuzz Daily. Dynamite was down across the board in all demographics, finishing with its lowest Wednesday night viewership since June 15th. Despite the lower-than-average viewership, Dynamite still finished fourth in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic with a .28 rating, which equates to approximately 365,000 viewers, according to WrestleNomics. Post-Wrestling's John Pollock reported Dynamite on TSN2 averaged 90,200 English-language Canadian viewers, which is back up to their usual range after falling to 33,000 viewers last week. Much of that decline was likely due to TSN having transmission difficulties during the beginning of the program. In Canada's most desired demo of 25 to 54-year-olds, Dynamite finished with 45,200 viewers. In WWE news, despite dealing with a possibly sprained MCL, Kevin Owens may still be playing a role during Survivor Series on November 26th, according to a report yesterday afternoon from PW Insider. PW Insider also noted that Owens is scheduled for tonight's live SmackDown on Fox, emanating from the XL Center in Hartford, as well as next week's go-home edition of the program. Yesterday morning, Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer revealed on his podcast that the Survivor Series main event is scheduled to be the Bloodline led by Roman Reigns against Owens, Drew McIntyre, and the Brawling Brutes, but that Owens' status was unclear. The 38-year-old French-Canadian reportedly sustained his knee injury during WWE's Madison, Wisconsin house show on Sunday, keeping him off Monday night's Raw. In Impact news, last night's taped episode of Impact on Access was the go-home show for Overdrive, taking place tonight at the Old Foresters Paris Town Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. In a match originally taped on October 22nd at Sam's Town in Las Vegas as part of the X Division title tournament, Black Taurus defeated PJ Black. Taurus will face Trey Miguel in the finals of the tournament to crown a new champion tonight at Overdrive. In an update on Vice TV's upcoming Vince McMahon documentary, The 9 Lives of Vince McMahon, a 2-hour look at the life, career, and scandals of the former WWE chairman, will debut on Tuesday, December 13th at 9 p.m., according to Brian Alvarez of Figure 4 Online. The documentary was originally scheduled to premiere on Tuesday, October 18th, but was postponed due to the WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite running head-to-head that night due to the Major League Baseball playoffs. Alvarez was among those interviewed for the documentary, along with Dave Meltzer, Vince Russo, Brandon Thurston, and the Wrestling News' Brian Solomon. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the Wrestling News 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.